What's going on, YouTube? Claic Yuzolt back again with another Final Fantasy Brave Exvius video, and in today's video, I'm going to confidently give you guys some recommendations on what you guys should be spending your STMR Moogles on, whether you're getting them from the new bundles, or you're getting them from having 100 tickets. I'm going to show you where you can exchange those, and then where I think you can best help your game, so you can make sure you take down all these trials and bosses. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so the first thing I want to say was this was a video I never thought I would find myself making, and I want to preface that before we do get into anything else. I don't know what you guys need. I don't know what units you have, I don't know what teams you like to build, and I don't know what would best suit your account. So, you know, top 5 videos, top ways to spend XYZ, really rough for me because I always want to help you guys out. I don't want to be lying to you, I don't want to give you the wrong advice, but what I've turned to myself and said, what would I tell my best friend? If my best friend was sitting next to me and he was playing Brave Exvius, how would I talk to him or her? How would I tell them how to play the game? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you guys exactly what I would tell them, and at that point, if it's not good enough for you or you don't, you know, I somehow messed up, I'm so sorry, but that's the best I can do, you know what I mean? I feel a lot of pressure. I don't know if you guys feel that from me, but I don't want to mess up these items for you because they're so powerful. Anyway, so from either the 3rd anniversary or you saved up from events or other things, you're going to head over to the King Mog in the Vortex and head to this little mustached Moogle with the shield and the spear, and this is where you're going to be able to trade in for your Super Trust Moogles. You're going to be able to go in here, and if you get 100 tickets, which we all will be from the 3rd anniversary, if you're watching afterwards, you kind of missed out on a good deal there, but you can still end up saving up enough to trade in here, so that's where you guys are going to trade in. And now I want to go ahead and go over the Super Trust Moogle bundle that just hit the shop. If you guys are watching this in the future, who knows what bundles we have, but this one's in the shop right now. When you guys are purchasing bundles, one of the most important things to do is pay attention to this top banner. If you look up here, these Super Trust Moogles are not 100% Super Trust Moogles. They are only 50%, but you get 2 of them. So you do get one 100% if you want to smush them together. I actually love the fact that they broke them apart. Reason being is, if you have 3 of a unit, and you have 3 of another unit, and you want both their STMRs, you make a 7-star, you fuse one of them into each other, and then you put this 50% in, boom, it opens up options for us. If you just want to get the one, you have the 1 7-star and no dupes, and you just want to shove that bad boy in there and get that STMR, you can shove both of them in there and bam, the STMR comes out. I love this bundle. I'm sorry, it is so much value. You get Lapis in it. Now again, it's nowhere near the Lapis value you'd get if you spent straight 50 bucks, but you're getting an item in the game, some of the best items in the game handed to you via the Super Trust Moogle. You're also getting a rare ticket. You're also getting a 4-star guaranteed ticket. So the reason I'm pointing that out is 1, I think it's very worth it. 2, it's 50% Trust Moogle. So don't think you're getting 2 Super Trust masteries out of this, unless you do it the way I talked about, where you have 3. You know, you always end up having 3, and you're waiting on that last one to get that Super Trust mastery. Well, here you can actually do that twice if you have 3 of a unit, put them together. Okay, so that's something I definitely wanted to point out. And now comes the time where we're going to talk about what Super Trust Mastery rewards I think you guys should use. Again, these are just my opinions. You guys can have completely different outlooks on the game. I am telling you exactly how I feel and how I would talk to my best friend if I were telling them how I would spend it. I'm going the defensive route. None of these are really offensive except for 2 we'll talk about at the end. Other than that, I think this game is a lot more based off of, at least that's how I like to play my game, have a game plan, have my defenses built, go into the fight, my damage, I'm lucky, I well out, you know what I mean, I have a lot of this great stuff, but if you have a team comp set in place with your defenses up, your DPS can get there, your damage dealing can get there in the end, and a lot of these units just kind of do what they want to do anyway. Like, they have a lot of built-in ways to build up their attack really fast, and while these STMRs do push them to the next level, they're not as strong in my opinion as these. Okay, so now we're going to cover them. My number 1 top-rated STMR to me, and the rest of them aren't going to be rated, to me, you're not going to believe this, is Renault. Guys, I know what you're thinking. What the hell are you talking about? Renault's been sitting in my box forever, Claic. Why didn't you say this before? Look at this item, and I'll tell you why. This item gives you nullification to all status elements besides, Stop, Charm, and then Berserk. Then it also gives you 60% to 4 of the most common, fire, ice, and lightning are the most common, and then you have wind on the side, elemental resist in the game, and then you also do get 50% to charm at the bottom. Why is this so important, and why do I think it's one of the best STMRs you guys can choose? 1, bosses are starting to imperil these right here. I know it says null, right? It says null. What that actually means is 100%. When you get into a fight and you have Winged Heart on, you're going to be 100% resist to what that boss is going to do. After that, the boss is going to start imperiling these. So it's going to be like, yeah, by the way, minus 100% to paralyze, and now I'm going to paralyze you. So you're going to need this, plus inside of battle, you're going to need 100% resist from one of your like support units or whatever to be cast as well. So you can stack up 100% with 100%, make it 200%. The boss drops at 100% and you're still at 100% and you resist. Okay? Very, very important. Then on top of that, most of these bosses have elemental resist requirements. I mean, you can try to force your way through it, and I know a lot of you guys have, using your big brains, you know, working around, healing, stuff like that. But this item gives you 4 at 60%. So not only is it taking the place of a ribbon or something like that, you know, some kind of way to get rid of those status elements, you're also getting giant elemental coverage there as well. Put them together, great STMR. It can go on any unit. This thing is not tied to anybody. It can go on attack, attackers, magic damage dealers, physical damage dealers, hybrid damage, I know I'm going down the line, tanks, supports, healers, any of those. This item is multi-use, will never get old, will always be great, and that's why I love it. So that's going to be our first one. Next up, we have Ramza. Look at this shield right here. A lot of you guys have a lot of Ramzas out there. Look at this shield. It is going to be a shield that gives you 20% elemental resist across the board, also giving you some nice defensive stats, nothing too crazy. Defense spirit 60% and HP 15%. This thing is amazing. It can go on your magic cover tank, give coverage to everything else. Now, you may want to put a shield on your magic cover tank that only, you know, maybe the boss only does 2 kinds of elements. You could focus on those. But what if the boss does like 3 or 4? This thing's going to help you cover a lot of those. I'm a really big fan of Ramza's. And you can also put it on supports. Anybody that can put the shield on can have it on. Again, multi-use. Also will be good forever due to the fact that these bosses are always going to be imperiling elements, and having defensive skills is never going to get old. You know what I mean? So maybe it'll get outdated in the future, where the outdate would come when they come out a shield that's better than this, but it's still always usable. You could always put it on somebody to help them build up their status, their resistances to these what would I try to say? These elements, okay? Next up, I like the shortcake. Now, there's going to be 2 limited time units on this list, but just in case people out there have them, you know, I think these are great. 1, again, all the status elements are gone. You got them knocked out on an accessory, that's great. Again, the boss imperils, hey, you got yourself covered. Next up, we get 54 spirit on an accessory, which is absolutely insane when we're talking about mitigating magic damage, on top of the fact of any kind of spirit scaling you have. Well Fed is going to be cast on your squad. LB gauge can fill up to 1,200 at the end of each turn. Restore MP by 5%, so you're getting that MP recovery along with filling up your LB gauge 200. And I love that it puts it in here, the tooltip. You can't get more than 1,200 at the end of turn, I guess, with these effects is what it's showing here. So it's doing multi-purpose, giving you some MP regen, putting those LB ups, and we know how important getting your LB up can be, along with covering the status elements. Great STMR there. Moving over, Awaken Rain, another all-star STMR in my opinion. Look at this bad boy, okay? 30% across the board to all elemental resist. Defense, spirit up 30, attack up 30, magic up 30. This is on an accessory. Great STMR if you guys want to pick this up. And I don't really have to go over it anymore because look at the stats it provides. Do we have any more of this? Zorga Ball. The Zorga Ball, period, is a TMR STMR machine. Look at his TMR. Boom, 15% across the board, high defense, spirit stat. You know, they're not the most crazy in the world, but it is on a helm. And you guys are getting some of those status elements, those elemental resist up. I'm having a hard time right now going between the two. I'm on like a pretty hard fasting diet, so my brain kind of fogs up sometimes. So I apologize, but I'm doing it for the betterment of my health. And then the next one's going to be the Judge's Oath. Guys, look at this. Defense 30, spirit 30, HP 30, all tanky stats to help you survive, along with 20% across the board. Absolutely bonkers, absolutely amazing, something you guys would definitely want to get your hands on. Did we go over every unit in the first one? Okay, sliding on over, we have Ellie coming up with an STMR you guys can look to get. Mother's Return, 60%. So it's going to be somewhat similar to, Renault is, right? We have 4 elements with 60%. This one covers 2 elements you did not cover with Renault's, and water and earth. And then also, hey, if you guys are going to put this on a mage, magic up 60% when equipped with a rod. So it actually has 2 uses, right? Everyone can take advantage of these the elemental resistances. And then also mages that put this on get the elemental resist along with 60% magic. An insane STMR for you guys to look to use. Next up, this one is on the list specifically because it covers a lot of different elements, right? I don't think this is the absolute best option, but I think I might as well put it on here to talk about. Exciting Surprise is going to be on your team. Let's go ahead and click that and talk about that real quick. We're getting HP 10%, MP 10%, just getting some nice some nice bumps up in our stats there, excuse me. And then we do get elemental coverage across the board, but we're specifically getting 50% to lightning, earth, and light. Again, when it comes time when you need to resist those elements, or those elements, excuse me, it's going to be great for you guys to use. Look at the spirit, look at the defense. Spirit is super insane, 94, very high up, making you tanky, making you be able to survive. And then the three most important things to be immune to when you go into battle, in my opinion, are stone, confuse, and paralyze. And this covers stone and paralyze, which means, you know, that's great. It's covering a lot of different things. It can be used on anybody that can put the shield on. It's going to be useful for everybody. It's not strictly dependent on a damage dealer or strictly dependent on a certain unit. It's got a wide variety of uses. Next up, I am going to throw in Fit here as well. You know, status helmet resist, lots of huge stats, HP 50%, MP 50%. Nice honorable mention here. And then moving last but not least, don't forget about old Marie, guys. Marie, giving you 30% across the board of all status helmets in a materia form. Absolutely amazing. Boosting up your spirit by 50% with a staff. A lot of people forget about this STMR. It is bonkers when it comes time to put those elements together. Oh, my team needs 100% resist to everything, blah, 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 blah. Getting more of these is going to be great. Great for you guys. Now, I know I've talked a lot. I've shown some things off. You guys are probably like, what about this one? What about this one? We have two I want to talk about that I actually don't own. I do not have their 7-star forms, sadly. And then we're going to get to the end of the video. So I know I say we were talking about two, but it's actually just one because I kind of covered Fid when I talked about Silka or whatever. So, Edgar. Edgar is one of the best STMRs in the game. I know I'm mentioning him last, but it's because I couldn't show you guys it in game. It's King Edgar. It's not the old Edgar that had the Machine Killer, which is still pretty good. We're talking about Coin of Fate coming from Edgar. King Edgar, the new 5-star base version. This is an absolutely insane STMR, guys. Accessory type, attack 50 you guys get on there. All status elements are taken care of. You don't have to worry about that. And you're getting your LB fill rate by 50%. 50 attack on an accessory is freaking bonkers. Everybody out there is going to want it, from true dual wielders to true double handers to your little risers you're trying to raise up and use your friend units. They're going to love this item. On top of that, you get the status element taken care of. This will be great on all attackers. It is kind of limited, in my opinion, to attackers. Now, you can take advantage of the status elements and the LB up, which is 50% on anyone, but you kind of lose out on any kind of stats you would get from it. So that's why I kind of put it a little bit lower than maybe some of these other STMRs, because the other ones go over everybody, but this is still a great one. Do not forget about this one, because you're going to regret it if you do. All right, guys, so those are my top picks for using your STMR Moogles, or STMRs you guys should be on the lookout to use. Again, these boss fights, it's going to get more and more tough, more elemental resistances you're going to need, more status element resist you're going to need, and combining those together will make sure you're ready for the future and ready to take on anything that comes out. I did the best I could, and I hope it was worth it for you guys. So if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below with any suggestions I may have missed, or what you're using your STMR Moogle on in the future, or anytime, even right now. And then subscribe for future content. We'll catch you guys in the next video.